Hi there, thanks for watching. The purpose of this video is to do a tutorial or a demo of the software platform called Buildium. This is the web portal that we use at Sharper Management for you as our clients to navigate. And I just want to go through the features and the functions of it so that you can see what it looks like on the user end. Before we dive in, a couple of notes though. There really are only a small handful of web portal platforms, software platforms that management companies will use. There's only one other company in Minnesota that uses Buildium, so we're pretty proud of that. There's a few reasons why we select Buildium, and I just want to touch on those. First, they're the easiest to navigate, right? Just how it's presented from the user standpoint is the easiest to use, navigate around. Secondly, it allows for real-time accounting because it all is in real time. So the bank software talks to Buildium software, which allows for the ability to have real-time accounting. The third reason for our longevity is they've just been very good to us. For 15 years, we've grown together as companies, and they've created features of the web portal for us for what we know that you, our clients, need. And lastly, it's all in one stop. This is something you might not know, but other management companies and other software platforms that they use, there's multiple things going on. So a management company might have one software system that's the homeowner database, another that's the accounting database and management, and another that's the web portal interface. And those three things are supposed to talk to each other, but they don't, and it's just clunky. Buildium is all in one stop. So those are some of the reasons why we use Buildium. So let's dive into it so you can see some of the functions and the features of why we think it's so great. So as a homeowner, you go to sharpermanagement.com and you log in. Now you have a secure connection, and this is what it will look like. There's a mobile app and a desktop app, by the way. This is what it looks like on the desktop, and I'll just go through the functions on the left. So the first thing that people will probably use this for is to manage their homeowner account, right? You can go in and you can make a payment. You can pay by credit card, or you can pay by bill pay. So you can enter your bank account, and then it's essentially an ACH automatic transaction, but you just get to control it. So making a payment, looking at your account, managing your account is a primary function of the web portal. By the way, this dashboard can be customized for the things that you want to use, the features. Requests. So let's talk about this, a very important function and tool. We call it a task via Buildium. So a homeowner can come in and create a request, and it's going to give them two options: a standard maintenance request, probably most used, or just a general question. People will probably call or email for that, but either way, they go in and they do this, and now it creates an accountable paper trail, a task that has to be followed through. So you might go in and create a maintenance request for a piece of siding or whatever it is. Give it a subject line, give it a description. A nice feature, you can add a picture, always very helpful to us. And then when that task is created, now you're going to see a log of it here. So this example, this homeowner got home and they saw that there was a piece of the soffit was loose. So they came in and they clicked on maintenance request. And by the way, if they don't go in and do this, if they call us, we still go in and create it so that it shows up on here. Because now this homeowner has a ticket, if you will, of this maintenance request, and they can see the updates. So what happened, this homeowner went in, submitted the request, it came into our office, and we responded and said, this has been assigned to the maintenance team. So the maintenance team is going to get that task now, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to schedule this for next Wednesday. They're going to come out and do it, and they're going to say, it took me 1 hour. It's going to come back to the manager. The manager gets to approve it. So each step of the way, this homeowner got an update, and it's going to show a listing here. They're going to get an update that, oh, the task was updated because they received it. Oh, another update that it's scheduled. Oh, another update that it was completed. So it's a really good way of just making sure things don't fall through the cracks. And then another great thing about this is a report that can be run for the board is you can run a task report to see what are the tasks that came in, what they were, how long they took to accomplish. So that's the request feature of the web portal. Architectural requests is a really powerful tool. So just like a maintenance request, you can go in and create an architectural request. So similarly, you can download the form, fill it out, attach maybe product pictures or a brochure, name it, and then submit the request. Now, the neat thing about this is it's going to list here, and then we can set up whoever's responsible for reviewing and approving those architectural requests. A lot of times it's the board, maybe it's an actual committee, maybe it's an individual. Whoever it is in your community that is responsible for reviewing and approving requests, they would be set up in here so that they'll get an email notification that, oh, okay, this homeowner submitted a request for window replacements. So when you log into your web portal, you would see this request and then you can approve it, you can deny it, you can ask for more information. And then similarly, it just creates a log here. So Bridget submitted the request. Uh, we responded and said, you need to give us more details. She gave more detail, and then the request was approved. So that's the architectural request function of this. It's a great tool for the homeowner to submit it, for the board or whoever's responsible to review and approve. And then obviously it now creates trackability, right? So now that request is tied to that homeowner's account, if you will, forever. Announcements. So this is two ways that you can communicate through Buildium. The first, we can, as the management company, do an email blast. Simple enough. We can send it to everybody, or we can select individuals, and then that's all tracked. Or what this is, it's a scheduled announcement, a scheduled communication. An example might be if I know my annual meeting is next week, I'm going to schedule a reminder to go out on Monday, the reminder of the annual meeting. So that's an example of what this announcements function is. Violations, just like request and architectural requests, now this is just a logged feature, right? So if a manager goes out and sees, in this case, some toys were left outside. So a manager is going to come in and they're going to log a violation to this homeowner's account. As a homeowner, you're going to get an email notification that I received a violation. Now I can go in and see what that is. Okay, here's a description. Here's what I'm supposed to do. And then I can update that. I can update that, send a request saying, okay, I removed the playground equipment. So a really good function, a really good feature for violations and managing those. And again, similarly, the board can run a report on violations to see what's going on. The document center, probably the second, third most common feature, popular used feature of the web portal. Documents, right? Meeting minutes, governing documents, contracts, financials, insurance certificates, all of those are examples. Governing documents and minutes are probably the most common. A couple of different cool things about this is when we go to upload a document, it's going to ask us, do we want that document to be viewable to everybody in the association or just to the board? So that's kind of nice because, for example, vendor contracts, that's something that maybe you don't want all the homeowners to see, but the board now has a working folder that they can always access those things. The other feature that it does whenever we upload a document to the document center is it asks us, do you want an email notification to go out? So I'll give you an example of this. Some associations like to post their meeting minutes and then send a notification that, hey, they're posted. So went to the meeting last night. They approved the previous meetings, the previous meeting minutes. So when I got back to the office, I uploaded it and it said, oh, okay, if you want to go see last month's minutes, now they're posted. So that's how the document center works. Contacts. There's two different types of contacts. Resources, this would just be any common contacts that you want the association to have listed. The insurance agent would be an example. Maybe it's the garbage hauler. Maybe it's Excel Energy, Centerpoint Energy, those types of things. The other type of contact that can be listed is the residence. And what this can be is it can be a directory. I'll be honest, it doesn't get used very often because the default is that information is not shared. We have all of the homeowner's contact information on the back end, but when you as a homeowner go and log in, it's going to ask you, do you want to share your information? And you have to check that box. So for those associations that maybe have a history of creating a directory, rather than the energy to create a directory, campaign to have everybody share their info so that you actually have a working directory on the web portal that you can use. Community calendar, pretty straightforward. Maybe you want to list your board meetings, your board meeting schedule, when the annual meeting is, maybe you have social events, whatever it might be, community calendar. So those are the functions that all of the homeowners are going to have access to. The last two functions I want to talk about are what you as a board are going to have access to that homeowners don't. So reports, think of a financial report and it is there. Now I mentioned the accounting is in real time. So you can run a balance sheet today and that's going to show you what's in the checking account today. Because again, the bank software and Buildium software talks to one another. So for any report, you can set the parameter, cash or accrual, however you like to look at things. And then the format, do you want a PDF or an Excel file? So I want to know what's in the association's checking account right now. So I'm going to use today's date. I'm going to create the report. Here's the balance sheet. It's going to create a PDF. And there we go. So I've got $7,000 sitting in the checking account right now. So pretty slick function. You think of a financial report, it's there. I like budget versus actuals as my personal favorite report just because it shows you how you're performing. So I'll just show you what that looks like. I'm going to look at last year. I want to know how we closed out last year. So the budget year to date last year, we'll do cash, download the report. This one might take a second to download. There we go. So there's the reports are pretty clean. So there's your budget versus actual report. All of your line items, your actual versus your budget. So pretty powerful. All sorts of reports you can run. Delinquency report, the current owner's report, that would actually be all of the info that we have for homeowner contact information that you as a board can go and get. Event history, all of the things that I talked about, a maintenance request, an architectural request, a violation, whenever someone moves in or moves out, anytime an email is sent, both to an individual or to the community, you pull an event history, and that's going to show you everything that's gone on through Buildium in whatever period of time you want to look at. So the reports are great. The last function is financials. Now, this is a really powerful tool. It's essentially an interactive income statement that you can drill into. So set the parameters. I want to look at last year, search. Here's my income statement. Okay, we spent $66,000 in our lawn and snow contract. I want to look into that. Click on that number. Here's all the transactions that make it up. And with each transaction is a paperclip. And if you click on that, that is the invoice. So there you go. You can get down to the minutia of an invoice. So that's the basics to Buildium as a platform. We've just found that it's very robust, again, user-friendly to navigate, offers that real-time accounting. Most platforms that most management companies use all offer similar features. But Buildium just goes a couple of steps further with all those features that we think makes it a great program and a great service to you as a client. So any questions on Buildium, feel free to reach out to our office and we can go over any more specifics. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.